Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Well, all right. How's everybody doing this morning? As you can see, I am back home from vacation. Yes, loving it. Got a couple more days before I gotta go back to work. Got to do some things around the house. Things I'm a little bit behind on. So in the thumbnail, you see that I said I cannot be trusted with food. And yes, that's true. I cannot be trusted with food, which I knew this going into my vacation, but I'm going to explain that here in a moment. Basically, what I mean is that I had all of the intentions to really limit myself to certain meals, certain amounts of foods before I went on vacation. And when I got on a vacation, everything went out the window. I can only blame myself, but I can tell you my surroundings as to why I did that. I obviously made my choices and did the things that I did. I mean, I didn't go crazy, but I definitely ate a lot more than I intended to. And that's why I say I can't be trusted. Hey, Mondo, come here, buddy. They want to see you. Come on. There he is. There's the Mr. Mondo. Yeah, them was. Yeah, them was. So anyways, my first day of vacation, I did pretty good. But after that, it was, we had an Airbnb. It was me and two of my sisters had the Airbnb, and we were constantly on the go. I thought I was going to have time to cook more at the house, but by the time we visited all the people, seen the things that we wanted to see, everything, there just wasn't even time to really cook. I mean, I suppose if I had an air fryer or whatever, but I even bought groceries that I didn't cook while I was there on vacation. And of course, tempted by the foods from home that I haven't had for years. When I call home, I mean, home to me now is South Carolina, but I guess what I mean is where I'm from in Ohio. Tempted by the foods from back home. Maybe I should say that. But I mean, I ate pizza almost almost every day from a different pizza place. And again, I'm back to the point where I say I can't be trusted with food is, you know, there's three of us or sometimes four of us, five of us, three of us actually staying in the house, but depending on who was over that day or where we were going. Like for example, one day we went to a close family friend's house and we told them we would bring food. We brought 4 pizzas. And I was surprised the people there, maybe they were nervous or scared. I had 2 slices of pizza for dinner. That was it. And there was 2.5 pizzas left over, which was strange to me for all the people that were there. But maybe that's just my mentality of buying too much food or whatever. So we ended up taking 1 pizza home because I said, here, you keep that at 1 pizza and a half that's left over, and we'll take 1 that's left over. Well, by the time I got home, I ate 2 more slices of pizza. Well, not by the time, when I got home, I was like, well, I want to eat 2 more because they're so delicious. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and that pizza was just calling my name. That's why I say I can't be trusted, because it was there. So what I do here at home is, or even when I'm at work, should I say, when I'm not on vacation, what I've been doing for the last 5 months, I only cook food that I can eat or the amount of food that I'm going to eat. And I don't have prepared food at my house, because if I have prepared food, it calls my name. It's like, hey, Bump, you know, come eat me. I'm like, okay, I pick up the phone. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll be there in a minute. I know that. I knew that going into vacation. I know that now. I've always known that. And it's best for me, because I cannot be trusted with food, to only buy food that needs to be cooked. And on top of that, only cook the amount of food that I need. Because for another example, you know, if let's say I buy an 8-pack of chicken thighs and I want to cook all 8 of them, you know, just because it makes more sense to cook them all, and say eat 4 now for breakfast and say 4 for dinner, just an example, I might end up eating 6 or all 8 of them at once. That's just the way that I am, and I know better. I've learned from myself that because I cannot be trusted with food, to only cook what I need. And that really has helped me over the last 5 months. And again, I knew this going into vacation. I tried to stop myself from doing it, but I couldn't. And that's just the pizza example that we brought home earlier that I was talking about. That's one of the things. And basically me telling you all these things is maybe you have that same issue. Maybe, you know, again, for me, I know better. Maybe you don't realize it. Maybe you need to actually do as I'm doing, because going forward, like I said, prior to vacation, my goal right now is to be under 300 pounds by February 26th. That would be 142 pounds in a year. Now, will I get there? I don't know. But by the end of the year, I definitely need to be at least 30 or 40 pounds less. Be below 340, be below 330. So I started February 26th. If by, say, January 1st, if I can be like 320, 330, I'd be happy. You know, over 100 pounds in less than a year, and then over 140 pounds in a year. But we're going to see, because this is not like I've done this before. This is all new to me. But here it is, August, today's the 10th. So September, October, November, December. I got 4.5 months, almost 5 months. I shouldn't have no problem, you know, getting below the 342 pound mark by the end of the year, and probably closer to 320, you know. I also, like, there were other days that I ate. Okay, so Saturday, for example, on vacation was not really a bad day. I did have what it is on Saturday, we had a bunch of people over, a small party, because it was the last day of vacation, and, you know, that we planned that. And my sister wanted to get the sub tray with sub sandwiches. And I did have a small sandwich, probably around 3 o'clock or something like that, and some potato salad. And I did have a couple of cookies. But then later on that evening, I was hungry, probably around 10 o'clock. I had another sub sandwich and some potato chips, you know. But I'm back on it now. Today is Monday. I did, on my way home Sunday, I drove from Ohio back to South Carolina on Sunday, and I ate some things, of course, that, you know, road trip. Didn't have the, you know, not driving my semi. I had a regular car. I stopped and got some pizza rolls. They were pretty tasty. But anyways, that's beside the point. We're talking about moving on in the future. I know what my problems are. I've identified them, and I know how to handle them. And we're going to be moving forward with all of that. I also want to talk about how I feel after eating those foods while I was on vacation. Yes, it was nice to have something different than my carnivore diet, but I don't need that kind of stuff. I've tasted hot dogs before. I've tasted pizza before. Yes, it is delicious, but I don't need it. And I'll be fine just moving forward. It's going to take me probably a week to get back to maybe 2 weeks to get back to eating 2 and 1 meal a day. So this first week, I'm probably going to eat 2 to 3 meals a day just to get me back into the swing of my diet. And then after a week or two, I'll cut back down to 2, maybe 1 meal a day. We'll see how it goes. I'll make sure I have enough food to where I can eat, you know, 2 to 3 meals every day. But if I don't have to eat them, I just won't cook the stuff unless I get hungry. And I also want to talk about my body, you know, because I've been eating very clean for the last several months. And I really thought that my body was going to suffer a lot more. But I do have some suffering from eating all the carbs and bad foods that I ate on vacation. My shoulders are sore. My elbows are sore. My hips are sore. My knees. Actually, I noticed, so we got in on Tuesday. By Wednesday afternoon, I could feel like walking my knees, my lower back. I was moving slower, and like, man, my body was aching. And I know that's because I wasn't eating clean. I was eating things that I shouldn't be eating. So that's going to take about probably a week, maybe 2, to get over all of that again, to get my system clean again, to where I'm feeling spry. But I don't feel terrible. That's the cool thing. Maybe it's because my body's just been so used to all of this over the last 5-6 months. And then that one, you know, so I ate bad, not too bad on Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days. Also, I do have some brain fog. Like, I'm waking up in the morning with like, bleh, which I wasn't feeling for the last several months. But man, I tell you, this morning, I can't get it together. I really can't. I think the alarm went off at 7. Normally I'm waking up before the alarm, and I hit the snooze button 4 or 5 times. And that's something that I don't do. You know, even before I went on carnivore, when I was up, but I guess because my body's been running so clean the last few months, waking up now is a little rough. But I'm sure by the time I get back to work and get back into the swing of things, I'll be just fine. The thing of it is recognizing your faults, knowing, especially for me, that I cannot be trusted with food means I have to prevent myself from doing things that I know I can't do, which is I cannot have more food than I actually need, and I cannot prepare food in advance. I mean, it's that simple. And if you get anything off of this, if you can take that and use it for yourself, man, that's great. But I want to tell you my experience, and hopefully it can help you. So, all right. We will catch you in the next one.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.